Hi, everybody. Today, I'm gonna read from my notebook. Today, I I wrote this on July 25th at just above 7 a.m. in the morning, uh, on a Sunday of 2021. So 2 years ago, I wrote this, and it's something that really just stuck in my mind, and that I was proud to have wrote at the time. Uh, yeah, as you can see, this is my ninth notebook. So I used to be a very avid note taker of my life, just documenting it. So even if I go, perhaps it is not forgotten. It's Note taking is one of the things I do that gives my life meaning, and it makes me uh, believe for a moment that my life isn't for naught. It is not for nothing. That perhaps the words I've said through them perhaps would get some value out of people. People would find some interest in it, and some lessons perhaps, or insights. So it it was something I did during my darkest depression, is to write down my struggles, and to write down just my thoughts, and just trying to fix myself. But this is not that. This is more of a critique of religion. I know, spicy. And I was very passionate when I wrote this. Um, I'm more relaxed on my opinion of religion now, um, but this perhaps will give you some insight into my beliefs historically, and perhaps you can find your own critiques of my critique. And it's all about critiquing each other and critiquing everything, having a open discussion. Uh, so, without further ado, grab a drink, grab a coffee, grab some food, as that one YouTuber says, and let's dig in. Okay. Okay. As I laid and sat for many hours today, my mind is, or has, instead of being absorbed in watching film uh, on a video screen, uh, was but watching them inside itself, thinking about the various film products I've consumed, adding my own thoughts onto them, some old, some novel. I am but amazed. I'm but a maze of memories, lost navigating through them. I've been in and out of sleep, navigating my psyche. I've added value to my life by beginning a habit to practice playing my guitar, because it adds another variety to my weekly activities. So I've stopped playing the guitar. Um, I the fingertips, you gotta develop a lot of strength and callus. Um, but I guess this is just the introduction. I've grown a strange kind of contempt for my own existence. I've scorned the forces that brought me into existence with the intrusive thought that seems almost to have been genetically inherited of infinite time, finite lifespan, So what does it matter what I do? Time will go on forever, past human existence, and that scares me. I've had that intrusive thought since I was a young lad, and sometimes I would panic. Um, and then what is it called? Like dot up here and dot up here. I forget what it's called. But after panic, cry, uh, uh, move frantically about my room or house, but eventually do something to distract myself, which usually was eat and watch videos. It it has been a really invasive and painful thought that has driven me to consider suicide, and which I don't think I've ever brought up in therapy. Meaningless, even in religion, is the title of this next part. It's also why I've probably been driven to uh, brackets existential and brackets nihilism and absurdism. Science is the gateway to see that there's no proof of a divine entity bringing us into existence for a holy and good purpose. It has shown that we are probably more than thousands of light years away from finding sentient life. So we are alone in this vast, lifeless universe. It has shown that there isn't a guarantee for our very species existence. And even if we do in the future, will do eventually survive into the future, will likely change in unimaginable degrees via genetic, cybernetic, uh, cybornetic, and natural selection brackets around evolutionary modifications, so that our current species will just be a primitive past to these Ubermensch, so German for supermen. Homo Deus, which I got from Yuval Harari's book Homo Deus, or whatever the species or plethora of species choose to call themselves. Science has also shown that your life might not actually produce any significant good in your immediate, wide, or afterlife surroundings, but may actually be doing more harm and is solely profiting rich and probably horrible people. Which leads to my next point. There's no divine justice in the world. People do terrible things all the time and die happy. And some of the bad things that eventually befall some of them that we see as karma is just from random chance and often befalls people that we would consider as not deserving it. There is no divine moral code in the universe or in culture. The one golden rule in morality is that killing is bad and that we don't kill our own people. Well, guess what? That's just uh, to promote social cohesion, which is imperative to our survival! Exclamation mark. And it's a loose moral value as it varies considerably across cultures. Looking at our evolutionary history, it's tempting to say that divine intervention guided humans into evolving bipedalism and relatively high intelligence. But two facts stick out to me that discourage this hypothesis. Um, the two thoughts again. One is that for nearly 2 billion years, archaea, bacterium, and viruses lived on this earth. Then it took uh, roughly 1.2 billion years for the earliest animals to evolve. Then 1.2 billion years for humans to evolve. If a god wanted us to exist, they would definitely uh, they definitely took their sweet ass time. And secondly, with law of large numbers in a infinitude universe and the potentiality of evolutionary laws on a given planet, the chance of our existence is nearly guaranteed. I wonder how religion uh, uh, I wonder how religion uh, world I wonder how religion world uh, would resolve the issue of there being other technologically capable and civilized uh, hyphen, so that floating line, uh, their uh, their form of civilization and culture uh, could be strictly unfamiliar or slash and also familiar to ours, uh, hyphen. Sentient species on other planets, would they point to passages in their sacred texts that supposedly hint at there being alien beings? A point I want to, so new paragraph. A point I wanted uh, to uh, to make earlier on the possibility that there are deities that created us um, and dictating us, and they control an afterlife. What does it even matter? There are countless religions and spiritual beliefs. How are we certain which one and even which proper interpretation of them is the correct one? Or they could all be wrong and it's something none of us imagined because we are currently incapable to. Let's say the ancient Egyptians had it right. Our very existence is dictated by these gods. Our meaning comes from their existence and their actions. Where does their meaning come from? Are there higher gods that created them that we're not aware of ad infinitum? Why must our life's meanings come from a god like Ra, the sun god? Ain't it depressing that for thousands of years we had to worship him and the others to survive? We were beholden, ruled over, and enslaved by these gods slash goddesses. One could argue we still are. Our destiny is not ours, it's theirs. But who are they? Why must we communicate with them through our psyche, uh, bracket, dream, worship, introspection, or meditation, or hallucinogenic states, in brackets? So worship meaning also prayer, because many shamans often communicate with the spiritual realm uh, through hallucinogenics, and possibly even earlier Christians went into these hallucinogenic states whether through drugs or just through deep meditation, um, fasting, uh, dehydration, etc. They're but distant, sentient entities, and in this confusing time of what to believe, they have abandoned us! Exclamation mark. They haven't given this globalized, interconnected humanity a clear message into what to believe, what morals to follow, and what virtues to hold. And if they punish us in the afterlife for our beliefs and actions, they are cruel, unsympathetic, and unjust! Exclamation mark. They created and guided us, so our actions are their consequences for their actions and beliefs. New paragraph. So, what does it matter? What do we do? What do we do if we don't know the consequences in this world and the afterlife? What does it matter what we do for a god slash gods slash goddesses slash goddess slash non binary deities if we were created for and by them and we don't know them? For it is ridiculous to live by an entity that remains hidden, whose real intentions are also hidden, and whom spontaneously came into this existence and decided to tell us how to live our lives. Their mind seems pretty human, all the more to be suspicious of. For these reasons, existence matters no more and no less for an atheist, agnostic, ancient Egyptian, Christian, Muslim, et al. Life with et al is just Latin for and others. I'm pretty sure. Life is meaningless no matter what religion you believe in. Science. New paragraph. Science has shown that life's meaning is individually and culturally created. I believe that the meaning uh, that the meaning a god or any other deity has given us is meaningless for reasons I stated earlier. Meaning is something that we feel and create for ourselves. It's what imposes purpose for our actions, which we need for life direction and to show that we've done, uh, to show what we've done is internally consistent or sound. Meaning is intricately tied to our other beliefs and schemas like morality, virtue, social rules, identity, how the world works, to name the ones that came to mind. It's a large topic which, with lots to be said. My three favorite books that cover it is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson, and War is a Force That Gives Us Meaning by C. Hedges. I regrettably sold that to a coworker later on. Blah blah blah. Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche also danced around the topic of meaning, but I'll have to read it again for a better understanding of it. New paragraph. My current life's meaning is to create, share, and spread my ideas, values, and philosophies. I ultimately want to see kinder people, humans colonizing Mars, setting up a permanent living environments, explore and discover space and other planets, and see and people develop clever technologies and cultural practices to overcome our new human challenges. My meaning comes from my moment to moment, everyday actions, which in some way adds to those meanings. Those fictional meanings that gives my life a story, narrative that are comforting. They cover up the meaningless despair I have. I'm not a hypocrite in my beliefs uh, uh, about meaning. I just have that dual and contradicting belief that's common in dialectical thinking in philosophy. I'm hopeful and despairing. I dread humans changing to unrecognizable degree, but I irrationally promote things like gene therapy and general genetic modifications that encourage that to happen. The end. Wow, that was 20 minutes. Holy. Wow. Um what did you guys think about that? I know I just I pulled all the punches. Um, I spared no hesitation in my wavering, unwavering arguments. Right. Oh, yeah, I for a large part I still agree with a lot of what was said there. Um, I don't really find um, much I disagree with there. Um, and if you have good arguments, uh, where with points that I could better touch up on, be my guest. Uh, I think I'll have photos um, of this notebook uh, in the description or maybe in the video. I don't really know for you to read over. Even though my handwriting might be a bit difficult to read, uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it for now. So yeah, bye.